this video, I'll be sharing my workflow for creating an interior visualization in Unreal Engine. First, we'll set up our work environment, configuring Unreal Engine for maximum efficiency and security. Then, we'll move on to lighting to achieve truly photorealistic renders. We'll thoroughly explore key project settings and learn proven methods for eliminating common artifacts. And finally, I'll walk you through my checklist for setting up the movie render queue, including using console commands to get the highest quality final renders. The source files for this project are available for you to download and explore on my Patreon. The link is in the description. A professional workflow starts with version control. It's my primary tool for speed, efficiency, and complete data loss prevention. It's absolutely essential for both teams and solo specialists. So, what is version control? Think of it as a time machine for your project. It's not just a backup, it's a system that connects team members and records every save you make, every check-in, allowing you to instantly revert to any version of your project. I use Diversion for my work. Why? It's a perfect fit for ArchViz artists. First, it's free for 5 users and immediately gives you 100 GB of cloud storage. That's 10 times more than its closest cloud competitors, and you don't need to buy your own server. Second, it's incredibly easy to set up, literally 2 minutes, and your project is ready to go. I analyzed the main options, and here's the table I made to choose the best solution. I think the numbers speak for themselves. Diversion clearly stands out from the rest, especially for our needs. Now I'll show you the basic setup of Diversion for a quick start. To begin, create an account at diversion.dev and download Diversion for desktop. Log into your account through the installed Diversion client. Now we need to create a repository for your project. Think of a repository as a container for all the files of a single project, and you can have as many of these containers as you need for different projects. Click Create New Repository. Since I'll be using an existing project, I'll select Create from Existing folder, then simply point to the root folder of your Unreal Engine project, the one where your project file is located. Wait for the project file synchronization to complete. Your project is now fully connected to Diversion. You'll immediately see its entire file structure in the client and can track changes online via your personal dashboard. And here's what's really cool. Diversion automatically excludes all temporary UE folders, saved, intermediate, derived data cache from synchronization. No manual setup needed. This saves space, time, and simplifies your workflow. Let's set up Unreal Engine. It's super easy. Install the free Diversion Version Control plugin from Fab. After installation, activate the plugin in the engine and restart it. Go to Connect to Version Control, select Diversion as the provider and accept the settings. My project is now fully synchronized and ready to work with version control directly from the engine. Let's commit the first version of the project. Go to Version Control, Commit Changes. Here we see a list of all assets that have been changed or added to the project since the last commit. The most important thing is to write an informative comment describing the current changes, for example, initial project setup. Click Commit and wait. That's it, the first version is secure. In Desktop Diversion, you get a full overview. Here you can see how I or any team member made changes to the project. For example, here are my latest commits, each entry with a clear description. This is your transparent project history, always at your fingertips. Adding a team to your project is incredibly simple. Go to Repo Collaborators, enter your colleague's email, set their access permissions, and they'll instantly receive an invitation. Diversion handles synchronization and security automatically. Let's look at the basic principle of interacting with assets in Unreal Engine. Create a material. See the question mark? It's not under version control. Save the project. Now it's a blue plus, the asset is staged. Commit changes. In the list we see our new material. Add a comment like added base material and confirm. In Diversion Desktop, our new commit is now visible, and most importantly, in the History tab we can revert to any project version at any time. Complete safety. It's incredibly useful to create branches. For instance, when you need to test something new or implement adjustments you're not entirely sure about, you simply create a branch, experiment there without risking your main project, and then decide whether to merge the changes or delete the branch. This gives you complete freedom for risk-free changes. Diversion significantly enhances collaborative workflows. Its built-in merge warning notifications proactively prevent binary merge conflicts by clearly indicating who is editing which asset, even across different branches. This transparency fosters better team communication and avoids costly overlaps. Crucially, the Unreal Engine plugin takes this a step further. Assets are automatically soft-locked within the editor, providing instant alerts if you try to access a file already in use. This robust system ensures your team can focus on creation, not conflict resolution. It's very convenient that Diversion allows you to visually inspect asset changes. For example, I can quickly compare this material across different project versions and immediately understand what exactly changed without any extra steps. Diversion is a powerful yet simple and accessible way to make your Unreal Engine workflow secure and organized. No more data loss, complicated rollbacks, or team coordination headaches. Link to Diversion in the description. Let's dive into my go-to project settings that I use to achieve high-quality cinematic renders. Go to the Post-Process volume, Global Illumination section, Ray Lighting mode, Heat Lighting for reflections. This mode provides the most accurate and high-quality reflections by using ray tracing to calculate light hitting surfaces. Lumen Scene Lighting quality. It controls the quality of light sampling within the lumen scene, meaning the detail of global illumination. A value of 2 offers a good balance between quality and performance lumen scene detail. This determines the geometric detail lumen uses for lighting calculations. A higher value captures more fine scene details, making global illumination more accurate, especially in complex interiors. Final gather quality. It manages the quality of the final light gathering, reducing noise and enhancing the overall smoothness of global illumination. Let's move to the reflections section. Quality. Overall reflection quality. A value of 2 ensures high accuracy and detail in reflections. Activate high quality translucency reflections. This option significantly improves the quality of reflections on translucent materials like glass, adding depth and realism. Max roughness to trace determines the maximum surface roughness for reflection tracing. A value of 0.8 allows for quality, yet naturally blurred reflections on less glossy surfaces. Max reflection bounces and max refraction bounces, number of ray bounces for reflections and refractions. Increasing these to 2 makes reflections and transparent materials more realistic by accounting for multiple light interactions. Activate ray tracing ambient occlusion. RTAO adds realistic soft shadows in corners and where objects meet, making the scene feel deeper and more volumetric. Disable motion blur for a perfectly clean and sharp image. To improve glass quality and eliminate flickering, use ray tracing for the translucency method. Remember to disable nanite on glass surfaces to avoid artifacts and ensure proper transparency. Now let's move on to the heart of photorealism in ArchViz, lighting. Precisely configured lighting accounts for 80% of success and truly brings your interior to life. Interior lighting is a challenging task for the engine. Why? Light needs to penetrate and bounce within many surfaces, therefore we cannot rely solely on a global light source like sun-sky. While good for exteriors, it's insufficient for quality interior renders. Even with high exposure, the light is mediocre, shadows are approximate, and artifacts are visible. To achieve truly high-quality light and detailed shadows in the interior, I use rectangular lights as fill light sources. I've placed one of these behind each window. As you can see, they significantly change the situation. The light quality has vastly improved, unwanted artifacts have disappeared, and shadows have gained the necessary depth and detail. For these fill light sources, I've set a slightly cool color temperature. Natural daylight entering through a window, especially on an overcast day, always has a cooler, bluish tint compared to the warm light of indoor lamps. This simple adjustment instantly adds realism and naturalness to your scene. Artificial light sources play an important role in interiors, typically emitting warm light. This is precisely what creates that essential contrasting balance: cool, natural light from outside and cozy warm light within. For most interior light fixtures, I primarily used point lights with a limited attenuation radius. This allows for precise control over their influence, illuminating only the desired part of the space and preventing overexposure. Regarding lampshades and diffusers, I used a foliage material. Thanks to its light-transmitting properties, it's perfectly suited for mimicking light diffusion, creating a soft, realistic glow. When setting up lighting, you will likely encounter artifacts appearing on geometry that uses nanite. This is a common issue, but there are two effective solutions. Disable nanite for that specific mesh. This is the simplest approach if you don't require nanite's ultra-high detail for that particular object. Increase the ray tracing normal bias value until the artifacts are no longer visible. Use console command R ray tracing normal bias. This console command controls the ray offset to prevent self-shadowing. For example, I typically use a value of 1. It's important to find a balance to avoid introducing new lighting issues. Now let's talk about accent lighting for cinematic shots. When framing the camera and meticulously setting up the composition, we often need to resort to using additional temporary accent lighting. Take this shot for example. You see it without accent light, it looks flat and uninspired. And now with it, I've used a rectangular light again. This method allows you to further highlight the focal point within the frame, guide the viewer's eye and make the overall composition more lively and dynamic. In this example, I used accent lighting to improve the wall's tone and the overall look of the shot. Here's another example. With additional accent lighting, you can effectively solve the problem of artifacts in complex areas of your project. For instance, as you can see on this wall where undesirable shadow or smudges appear without it. Accent light helps to punch through these problematic zones and clean up the image. Now let's talk about shadows, specifically their disappearance. On small objects such as these ceiling lights or dishes on shelves, when you move the camera further away, you might notice that shadows start to vanish. This is quite easy to fix. Navigate to the Asset settings. Find the parameters, positive bounce extension and negative bounce extension. Increase their values until shadows on your object stop disappearing at a distance. For me, for example, a value of 10 for each is often sufficient. This simple adjustment helps the engine correctly calculate the object's boundaries for shadows, even when it's far from the camera, ensuring consistent and high-quality shading. So, the lighting is complete. It's time for the final stage, setting up the movie render queue to output your high-quality renders. In the sequencer timeline, I typically add 10 to 30 empty frames at the beginning. This is for pre-warming up the engine. During the initial frames, the engine caches shaders and loads data. Without this, you might get flickering artifacts or incorrect lighting at the start of your render. These frames allow the engine to stabilize, ensuring a clean and high-quality image from the very beginning. Now let's move into the movie render queue, our primary tool for exporting final renders. Anti-aliasing tab. Everything is straightforward here. I won't go into detail. Let's move on to console variables. Here are important commands for fine-tuning render quality. R ray tracing normal bias 1. This command solves the issue with geometry and nanite artifacts. As I discussed earlier, a value of 1 often helps to resolve the problem. R shadow virtual resolution low bias directional -2 increases the resolution of virtual shadows from directional light, making them significantly sharper and more detailed. R shadow virtual resolution low bias local -2, similar to the previous one, but boosts the resolution of virtual shadows from local light sources. Point spot rect lights, improving the detail of interior shadows. R shadow SMRT ray. Count local 32 increases the number of rays used to calculate soft shadows from local light sources. Screen space multi-resolution translucency. A high value of 32 makes shadows smoother and higher quality. R shadow SMRT ray. Count directional 32, the same as above, but for shadows from directional lights, ensuring smoothness and quality of global shadows. R tone mapper sharpen 0.2. Applies a subtle sharpening effect to the final image after tone mapping. A value of 0.2 adds a bit more crispness without overdoing it. Our lumen screen probe gather down sample factor 2 controls the quality of light sampling for screen probe gather in lumen. Setting it to 2 helps improve the quality of global illumination, especially in details. Our lumen screen probe gather radiance. Cache probe resolution 64 increases the resolution of lumen's radiance cache, which directly impacts the accuracy and detail of global illumination. 64 yields a very clean result. Our shadow virtual max physical pages 16,384 increases the maximum number of physical memory pages allocated for virtual shadow maps. This allows for higher shadow resolutions without them popping out or degrading in quality. In this video, we covered the important components for high-quality renders in Unreal Engine. As always, the link to the source files for this project for your exploration is available on my Patreon in the video description. If this topic was interesting to you, be sure to write in the comments what topic you would like to see in the next video. Your feedback is highly valued. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new tutorials.